Like, why wouldn't you want to bring in the locals back down to the...
What turned the city that never sleeps into a financial nightmare for millions of tourists? In 2025, Las Vegas still shines bright under its neon lights, but behind the glow lies a story the casinos don't want you to see. Visitor numbers have fallen for 8 straight months, down nearly 2 million people compared to last year. Hotel lobbies feel emptier, casino floors less crowded, and yet the bills have never been higher. Vegas was built on a promise: cheap rooms, affordable buffets, and endless fun for everyone. You didn't need to be rich to feel like a king for a weekend, but that promise has been broken. Average hotel rates are up 24%. Buffets that once cost $20 now reach $100, and a simple breakfast can run you $30. Even a bottle of soda can go viral for costing $9. To stem the bleeding, the city launched the fabulous 5-day sale, slashing prices and waiving resort fees. For 1 week, visitor numbers ticked upward. Then, just as quickly, they fell again. The truth is unavoidable. Las Vegas has become a place of soaring costs, shrinking service, and fading dreams. The question is, can it recover its soul, or has it already sold it off? 7 sticker shock? Las Vegas once lured millions with the illusion of affordability. You could drive into town on a Friday night, book a strip room for less than $100, and feast at a buffet overflowing with crab legs and prime rib for $20. That illusion is gone. Today, visitors describe the shock of opening their hotel bill as if they had accidentally financed a used car. A 2-night stay advertised at $200 per night rarely ends there. By the time the resort fees are added, often $40 to $55 per night, plus taxes, parking, and other hidden charges, the bill easily climbs past $700 or $800. And this isn't at luxury properties alone. Even mid-tier strip hotels, once marketed as budget-friendly, now routinely hit those numbers. The numbers tell the story. Average hotel rates are 24% higher than just a few years ago, even as occupancy has dropped from 95% in 2019 to 85% today. In June 2025, tourists reported paying nearly $500 for 2 nights before factoring in food or entertainment. Economically, it makes no sense. Fewer guests, fewer rooms, yet higher prices. But in Vegas 2025, logic no longer applies. Food prices have turned into a second ambush. The legendary buffets, once a symbol of Vegas excess, now run $60 to $100 per person. Fontainebleau became infamous online when a tourist posted a receipt showing $30 for a simple bagel and coffee. MGM properties were roasted for charging $25 for real cutlery. Even basic drinks sting. $20 for a Red Bull and vodka, $9 for a bottle of Diet Pepsi. These stories spread across TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube, magnifying outrage faster than casinos can bury it. And tourists are voting with their feet. Instead of paying $500 for watered-down cocktails and $60 early check-in fees, many are heading to Reno, Tahoe, or Phoenix, where the odds are better, the rooms are cheaper, and the atmosphere less predatory. Vegas used to sell indulgence that felt within reach. You didn't need to be wealthy to taste excess. But in 2025, the city feels engineered to squeeze every last dollar out of the people who still show up. The sticker shock is more than financial. It's emotional. It's the gut punch realization that Las Vegas isn't selling fun anymore, it's selling regret. 6. The death of fair games. Las Vegas built its empire on the thrill of the gamble. The house always won, yes, but the visitor felt they had a fighting chance. That illusion was part of the magic. A tourist could stroll into a casino, sit at a $5 blackjack table, and dream of beating the odds. Win or lose, the game felt fair. But in 2025, that illusion is gone. The iconic 3-2 blackjack payout, the standard for decades, has nearly vanished from the Strip. Today, it survives only in high-roller rooms with $100 minimum bets. The average tourist, the one who saved all year for a Vegas vacation, is stuck with 6-5 blackjack, where the house edge almost triples. What once felt like an honest gamble now feels like a stacked deck. Roulette hasn't escaped either. The single zero wheel, long rare in the United States but once a Vegas bragging point, has been replaced first by double zero and now by the dreaded triple zero roulette. This tiny change pushes the casino advantage to more than 7%. For players, it's nearly double the disadvantage they faced a decade ago. For casinos, it's a goldmine. Tourists notice. YouTube gambling vloggers complain of impossible odds. TikTok is flooded with clips of visitors losing hundreds in minutes. The outrage isn't just whispered in smoky bars anymore, it's broadcast worldwide in real time. The perception of fairness, the very thing that kept gamblers coming back, is evaporating. And then comes the most soulless change of all: automation. Casinos are quietly replacing live dealers with digital terminals and hybrid setups. Instead of 4 blackjack tables with 4 smiling dealers, One employee now oversees 50 players staring at kiosks. To management, this is efficient. Fewer salaries, fewer benefits, more profit. To players, it's sterile and cold. The banter, the camaraderie, the subtle edge of reading a dealer's eyes, all gone. What's left is not a gamble, but a transaction. Tourists don't walk away with stories of wild nights and lucky streaks. They leave feeling fleeced, as though they never even had a chance. The house may always win, but in 2025, Vegas has crossed a line. It killed the illusion of fairness. And in killing that illusion, it risks killing the city's very soul. When service disappears. For decades, Las Vegas wasn't just about the games or the lights. It was about service, the illusion that anyone, whether spending $100 or $10,000, could feel like royalty for a weekend. Bellhops rushing to grab your bags, concierges who could get you a last-minute show ticket, housekeepers who refreshed your room twice a day, all of it made you believe you were part of something bigger. But in 2025, that illusion is unraveling. Entire bell desks have been eliminated at properties like Excalibur. Guests paying $500 a night now drag their own luggage through sprawling lobbies. Concierge desks, once the heartbeat of strip hotels, have been replaced by chatbots and generic apps. Want recommendations for a show or a restaurant? A screen will suggest the same options it gives to everyone else. The layoffs that fueled these changes cut deep. MGM Resorts merged positions across its buffets, forcing longtime employees to leave. Caesars Entertainment reduced staff so aggressively that even premium buffets are now run by a skeleton crew. At Resorts World, dealers and floor staff were escorted out by security guards as if they were liabilities, not people who had given decades of their lives to the city. For visitors, the experience is chaos. Housekeeping is delayed or skipped altogether. Front desk lines stretch longer than ever. Restaurants are understaffed, leaving tourists waiting for service after already paying premium prices. Tourists who once left feeling pampered now leave feeling ignored. The irony is devastating. Fewer workers don't just hurt guests, they hurt the very community that Vegas depends on. Hospitality jobs once formed the backbone of the local middle class. Bellhops, concierges, servers, and dealers bought homes, sent kids to college, and built stable lives on casino salaries. Now, many find themselves unemployed or working gig jobs to make ends meet. Las Vegas once sold itself as an escape from the ordinary. It wasn't just neon or cards, it was the feeling of being taken care of being special. Strip away that service, and the illusion collapses. In 2025, too many visitors are discovering that luxury prices now come with discount treatment, and resentment builds fast when you're paying for magic, but receiving only mediocrity. 4 vanishing choices? Las Vegas was once defined by abundance. Walk into any resort, and the options felt endless. Buffets stretching the length of a football field, quirky afternoon shows for a few dollars, and nightlife that ranged from rowdy dive bars to glitzy mega clubs. The magic of Vegas wasn't just neon lights or casino games, it was the idea that anyone could tailor the city to their budget, their mood, their imagination. But in 2025, that variety has collapsed. Buffets, the very symbol of Vegas indulgence, have nearly gone extinct. The ones that remain cost $60 to $100 per person, often with shortened hours and no dinner service. Families who once built trips around the excitement of all you can eat for cheap now stare at price boards that rival fine dining. Casinos proudly advertise food halls as progress. Yet these halls are nothing more than standardized food courts, where every stall charges $20.50 for ordinary meals you could find in any suburban mall. Entertainment has suffered the same fate. The days of grabbing a comedy show coupon and spending $5 on laughs are gone. Mid-tier productions that once cost $30, $40 a ticket, have been swallowed by the dominance of mega productions. Cirque du Soleil tickets now run $150, $300. Superstar residencies by Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, and Adele can cost even more. A family of 4 who once spent a weekend exploring multiple affordable shows now drops $400 to $600 just to sit in balcony seats for a single performance. Even nightlife has narrowed. Where dozens of quirky clubs once competed, only a handful of mega clubs remain, and bottle service regularly starts at $500. For young travelers, spontaneity is gone. For retirees, affordability is gone. For families, variety is gone. The city that once promised something for everyone now caters only to those who can afford to splurge. Vegas's abundance has been hollowed out, replaced by engineered scarcity at luxury prices. The magic of choice of wandering into a hidden gem, of finding entertainment that fit your budget, has evaporated. What's left is a uniform experience that feels less like discovery and more like extraction. In chasing profit, Vegas has erased the very variety that made it irresistible. Economics don't add up. Las Vegas was built on a formula so simple it was genius. Cheap rooms plus cheap food equaled massive crowds, and massive crowds equaled profit on the casino floor. For decades, that math worked. A $99 room and a $20 buffet pulled millions into the city. Once they arrived, tourists spent freely on gaming, shopping, and shows. The city made its money not on the bargain deals, but on the foot traffic they generated. But in 2025, that formula has collapsed. Visitor numbers fell 7.3% in the first half of the year, more than 1.5 million fewer tourists compared to last year. By July, the monthly drop reached 12%, marking the steepest decline since the pandemic. And this is happening even after two major strip properties, the Mirage and the Tropicana, closed, reducing the total number of available rooms. Basic supply and demand logic suggests occupancy rates should rise with less supply. Instead, they've fallen from 95% in 2019 to about 85% today. The casino's solution has been counterintuitive: raise prices even further. They hope to squeeze more out of the smaller crowd that still shows up. But this creates a vicious cycle. Tourists complain on TikTok and Reddit about $30 bagels and $9 sodas. Each viral post convinces dozens of potential visitors to rethink their trip. The outrage multiplies faster than discounts can offset it. September's fabulous 5-day sale proves the point. By slashing prices across the strip, waiving resort fees, and even offering free parking, Vegas drew a short-lived bump. Visitor numbers climbed to 3.2 million that month. But by October, the decline resumed, sliding back to around 3.05 million. The reset lasted only as long as the discounts. This is the danger of Vegas's new math. Raise prices, lose customers. Raise them again to cover the losses, and lose even more. Economists call it a death spiral, when a business squeezes harder as its base erodes, only to accelerate the erosion. Las Vegas isn't immune. The Strip is now running on a broken equation. And unless it finds a way back to the formula of value and accessibility, the numbers simply don't add up. To social fallout, behind the glowing billboards and the endless promise of what happens here stays here, a different Vegas is emerging, one that its own residents can't escape. The collapse of tourism doesn't just hurt the casinos, it seeps into every corner of the city, leaving scars on the people who built it. Homelessness in Las Vegas has surged past 6,500 people, giving the city one of the highest per capita rates in the United States. Many of these individuals aren't drifters passing through. They're former cocktail servers, dealers, bellhops, and housekeepers who once made a stable living in hospitality. When casinos slashed jobs and shifted to automation, thousands found themselves unable to keep up with rent that now averages more than $1,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. A single missed paycheck can mean sleeping in a car. 2 months without steady work can mean a tent under an overpass. And when livelihoods collapse, crime rises. The FBI now ranks Las Vegas in the top 20% of American metros for violent crime. Tourists report being hassled by aggressive street performers, pressured into tipping for photos, or targeted by petty scams on pedestrian bridges. Locals complain of thefts and assaults increasing in neighborhoods that were once stable. The city's social fabric is fraying under the weight of economic despair. The irony is almost cruel. Inside the casino, a guest can pay $20 for a watered-down cocktail. Step outside onto the Strip, and that same guest might see a homeless veteran holding a cardboard sign just a few feet away. For a city built on escapism, this jarring collision of luxury and poverty shatters the illusion. Tourists leave, not with memories of carefree indulgence, but with the uncomfortable sense that Vegas is unraveling. The fallout extends beyond image. Hospitality once formed the backbone of the city's middle class. When those jobs vanish, so does the stability of entire communities. Parents struggle to feed their children, families move away in search of work, neighborhoods hollow out, and the city that once promised opportunity begins to feel like a trap. Las Vegas sold the world a dream. But in 2025, for too many of its residents, that dream has turned into survival. And every tourist who sees the cracks takes a piece of Vegas's reputation with them when they leave. 1. When people are replaced by machines. If Las Vegas had one last magic trick, it was its people. The dealers who explained the rules with patience, the servers who remembered your name, the pit bosses who added a touch of drama to every table. That human presence gave the city its warmth. Even if the odds were stacked against you, the smile of a dealer or the camaraderie of a craps table made you feel alive. But in 2025, even that is being sold off. Casinos are replacing live dealers with automated kiosks and hybrid games. Instead of 4 dealers running 4 tables, 1 employee now supervises 50 players staring at glowing terminals. To corporate managers, it's efficiency. Fewer salaries, fewer benefits, higher profit margins. To the visitor, it's alienating. The table feels cold, the atmosphere sterile, and the game reduced to a soulless transaction. The change is more than mechanical. Dealers weren't just shuffling cards, they were teachers, entertainers, and guardians of fairness. They slowed the game for beginners, cracked jokes to ease the tension, and made even casual players feel welcome. Machines do none of that. They speed up the pace, tweak the odds quietly, and leave the player isolated in front of a screen. Gamblers notice. Veteran tourists who once bragged about their lucky streaks now complain that they never even had a chance. On forums and YouTube channels, visitors describe the new Vegas experience as soulless and robotic. The human connection, the very ingredient that turned gambling into a story worth telling, is disappearing, and the consequences ripple outward. Thousands of dealers and service staff have lost jobs, stripping away the middle-class backbone that once defined the city. Neighborhoods that relied on casino wages are hollowing out. What used to be steady, dignified work has been replaced by temporary contracts or gig jobs. Las Vegas always marketed itself as people first, a place where anyone could feel welcome at the table. Strip away the people, and all that remains is a neon machine dazzling on the outside, hollow on the inside. And when the human touch disappears, so does the allure. Without its soul, Las Vegas isn't Las Vegas anymore. Las Vegas didn't lose its magic in a single night. It sold it off piece by piece. The cheap buffets that once made visitors feel spoiled, the quirky shows that brought laughter for just a few dollars, the friendly dealers who turned strangers into friends, all traded away for higher margins and short-term gains. What remains is a city of soaring bills, shrinking choices, and fading service. A place where visitors pay luxury prices but receive discount treatment. A place where the illusion of fairness has vanished, where locals lose the jobs that sustain them, and where neon lights mask growing despair. The fabulous 5-day sale may have bought Vegas a brief reprieve, but promotions can't fix what's broken. The real problem is trust. Tourists no longer believe they are welcome. Workers no longer believe they are valued, and once that trust is gone, no amount of neon can light the way back. So the question lingers. Can Las Vegas rediscover the magic that made it legendary? Or has it already crossed the point of no return, destined to be remembered not as the city of dreams, but as the city that sold its soul?